Hey guys, good afternoon. JB and I are out on the river. Some of you had asked, said, I don't have a boat. Where's places that I can go fishing? I like to catch bluegill. I like to catch red-eared sunfish. I like to catch shellcraker. So I thought I'd show you that today, and a super simple technique that works all year round that will help you catch bigger and more fish faster. So let's go fishing. All right guys, I don't know about the rivers and creeks where you are, but you can see the current that this one has here, and that's a lot of current. If you're in a boat where you can find, like behind those bushes right there, where you can get just out of the current somewhat, you'll do really good. But if you're on foot, you want to try to find a place where it kind of comes back into a slough or a little impression in the river, and you'll see this right here. You should be able to see how that water is circling, and that's called an eddy. And fish get up in here and they can sit close to the bottom, and as food comes in they can just dart up, get it, and go back to resting, and they don't have to fight that current like they do out in the river. It's not saying that you can't catch them in current, you certainly can, but it sounded like to me that the people who are asking the question like to go fishing, they just don't have a lot of experience. So I'm going to try to help you guys have a lot more fun catching your fish today. I usually don't use a cork for this. The technique's called bumping. You can bump for bluegill, you can bump for shellcracker, you can bump for bass, catfish. It works real good on a variety of fish. I'm hoping we're going to get this on the camera if I get my old arthritic fingers to hold anything today. Alright guys, I've got a little number 5 hook here. I prefer a number 6, but the 5 works really good too. And all I'm going to do is put this hook in right behind that head and just cover that barb. Like I say, I usually don't use a cork, but I don't know if the camera's going to pick up this high vis line. You can do this with a cork. I like to do it without one, but I know how to watch that line and what to feel for it. JB, let me get your leash up here, buddy. He hadn't been feeling too good, so I'm keeping him on me today because he will go down and go for a swim if I don't. All I'm going to do is cast that out about that far. You could cast it way out if you wanted to, and I'm going to let it go to the bottom. One reason I don't like using a cork is because I can get it to the bottom quicker. It's not super deep right in here, and I like to see let that current. See right there, there was a little bite. And what that current's doing is it's bumping that weight on the bottom. Fish have a lineal line. They'll feel and hear that bump. Okay, the current stopped right there. So what I'm going to do is just that right there. With a cork, it kind of looks over exaggerated. And I'll do that all the way in until I get a good bite. Oh, he found a stick. What did Mama tell you before we left the house? No sticks? Okay, so we got a bite going right there. Now these red-eared sunfish, these shellcracker, a lot of times you can have a big one on, and all you'll ever see is just that cork do what it's doing right now, just a little thump. And they'll have it swallowed all the way down. And I'm kind of over exaggerating to show you, but you really only want to move it about 6 inches at a time. 6 inches to a foot. The slower you fish it, in my opinion, the better it is. Thought he was on there. Somebody asked me how could they fish without getting hung. You know, I've been doing this for over 5 decades, and I couldn't tell you how to fish without getting hung. It drops off kind of deep right there, and that's why I bring it in real close, because they love to get up underneath roots, and this is an old cypress stump here. But that's all you have to do. I'm probably going to take this cork off now that I've shown you how to do it, but I may leave it on. Let's catch some fish. Second cast, bumping it. Paid off, guys. This is a nice shellcracker right here. Tell by the way he's fighting. Real good shellcracker. Now, how about that for the first fish of the afternoon? Ooh, come here, fella. Just bumping it, guys. You can catch them by throwing it out, letting your bait sit. You can suspend fish. That's a good way to catch a bluegill and shellcracker. You know, once you figure out the depth that they are. Now this river here has got some shellcracker that go better than 3 pounds. Now, he's big enough I can put my whole thumb in his mouth. Look at that, those beautiful colors on him. They are called red-eared sunfish because of this little bit right here. On this one, that's a little more orange. And they will bed where bluegill bed. Come here, bees. Come on. That one right there is a ½ pound. Probably 3/4. Look how big he is in that bucket. Let's do that again. Now, this isn't my opinion. This is an actual fact. Shellcracker fight harder than bluegill do. Now, if you get into a bluegill that size, they'll fight really hard. But especially on a river system where they have to deal with the current, and all I'm doing, guys, is just hooking that right on there. That's a ½ piece of an earthworm. And when I caught him, all I did was just flipped it out there and waited, let it go to the bottom. Oh, I know it ain't sinking properly for you as it be. Now see, this would be if I was, you know, fishing, just letting it sit on the bottom, waiting for one to come along and find it. I like to actively fish. I prefer to use jigs, flies, you know, a lot of stuff I even tie and make myself. But just bumping it. That lineal line on that fish, and I'll next fish I catch, I'll show you where that's at. They can sense the movement. They can sense the weight hitting the bottom. A little bit deeper right there. Don't be afraid to fish in close to the shore, guys. Shallow water can hide big fish. Okay, so he once picked it up right there, just from bumping. All right, he's gonna be a good one too. Yep. Look at there. A little bass, JB. Oh, I'm glad he got off. You know why I'm glad he got off, guys? Because he wasn't quite legal. And this guy here gives me a real hard time whenever I throw a bass back. I know that's one of your favorite fish to catch, and we're going to do some bass fishing videos, okay? We're going to show people how to catch them in the wintertime. In fact, this technique I'm doing in an area like this right here with some night crawlers, bass will tear them up. They should be going on bed here real soon. I'm gonna fry the fish that you saw us catch on the last video today. I'm gonna have to take that cork off, guys. It just don't want to sink like it should. Hang on. Let me put another weight on, guys, and cause this thing's not wanting to slide like it should. Bumped it a few times. He picked it up and started running with it. Feels like a decent fish. Feels like a real nice fish. A little bit more bluegill and shellcraker, but it may be it's a decent fish, guys. A real decent fish. Oh, he got us around something there. Nice shellcracker. Look at that. Somebody broke their line off right there on something. I was getting ready to put this one out here. That's the kind of shellcracker you want right there. Can't even get your hand around them. Yeah, I know you came to help. He said, that's a big fish. I ain't letting that get away. Oh, he just stuck me. That's okay. Oh, ooh, you ain't getting away, dude. That's all right. I can wash these pants. Look at that, guys. That's as big as them crappie right there. That guy there is every bit of 13 inches long. Beautiful fish. I was getting ready to use this one here because that cork will sink a little faster than this one. Whew. I want y'all to see something right here that concerns me. That's a deer tick crawling on my hand right there. Y'all see that? So that fish stuck me, but that's where the JB, you got stuff to repel them. I don't. Lord have mercy. I don't need them. When I was 29 years old, I was diagnosed with Lyme's disease. Oh my goodness, and these fish just got my britches wet. That water's cold, guys. Remember, in cold weather, even though it's only about 60 degrees out here today, that water's probably in its 50s. They're gonna bite slower. What I'm gonna do with this one, just so we can get kind of a comparison, is I'm gonna put it out and leave it stagnant. And I'm gonna be active with this rod right here. Now you can also, if you've got like a jig head, or if you've got a hand-tied jig or fly, you can put a weight just above it and just tip the end of the hook with a small piece of worm, and they can't stand it. We're gonna let this one be stagnant, meaning we're not gonna actively fish it unless something gets it. And this guy here, we're gonna be actively fishing it. Move that weight up just a little bit off that hook. These are kind of big weights, but I usually don't use that much weight, but I want it to get to the bottom as quick as possible. There's a lot of river roaches in here, and I want to try to get past them as quick as I can. I wish y'all could see that line a little better. I'd rather do this without a cork. You don't have to move it non-stop, just, I'd say let it sit there 30 seconds to a minute maybe, and if nothing hit it, then, and like I say, with a cork, it's an over-exaggeration of what I'm actually doing. But you're moving that bait like this, and that weight's bouncing on that bottom, and it's making a sound. If any of you have ever used a rattle trap, how rattle traps make sound as you bring them through the water, well, that weight makes a sound when it hits that bottom. And the movement, the fish pick up as well. Now keep in mind that water's like 50 degrees. I live in the part of Florida, if we went that way 6 miles, we'd be in Alabama. So I'm not in South Florida where it stays 80 degrees all the time. Well, not all the time. It gets pretty hot down there too. Well, I tell you, this last summer was excruciatingly hot. Okay, one just hit that one right there. I bumped the end of the rod with my foot, and that was all it took. Just that little bit of a bump. What I do, let it sit there for a second. He didn't get it, so I'm gonna just actively try to there you go, see there? Got him. He's not a real big one. But this rod here is kind of stiff. I couldn't tell you the fish I've caught on it. That shellcraker. And that tells you all about the depth of the water there. It's every bit of I think this is a 5 even I think it's 5'8". We'll look at the distance on that. But that little bit of a tip right there. Keep him. JB says, who are you talking to, Michael? Now, you want to look for beds. You want to look where the fish are. Now, usually, they're right in here. But y'all see how much more current we've got today looping around? You can see it moving that green cork in the water. That's the second fish that I've caught from right over there. So that tells me that they're staying in a little further out of the current where they can just kind of sit there. They're not on beds yet. But let's find out if they're hanging in there. I don't think I can get this one to go that far. This is just a little bitty, like 500 series reel on here, and this is a real noodle rod, so it'll be fun if we do. Okay, a little bit further than what I wanted to go. And it's a lot deeper in here than it normally is. We had like 3 days of just a slow, steady drizzle. And they had a lot more north of us, so it brought the river up a good bit, but not as high as it I should be sitting about waist deep in water right now. Normal height for the water is right along these knees right here. But winter fishing, the fish bite slower. So being more active, it doesn't hurt to put a pole out and just leave it where you can kind of keep an eye on the cork. And I think one just picked it up on that bump. That little cork disappeared. No, he didn't. What it does is it keeps you from having to sit there and be bored all the time, wondering, well, why am I not getting any bites? To, you know, actively being able to fish. And it works good when you got things going against you. You know, east is over here, and the wind's coming right across. And an east wind, there's no saying. When the wind's coming out of the east, they bite the least. When it's coming out of the west, they bite the best. But it doesn't mean you can't catch them on an east wind. It just means an east wind down here anyway means you're going to get some weather. But I'd rather take a winter down here in Florida than up in the northern part of the country. It's beautiful up there, but ice and snow and ice storms. I did it for 10 years. I don't want no more of it. I do miss seeing that snow fall the first time of the year, though. And one of you asked me about hunting. I really don't hunt anymore because of my spine. If I got a deer down without help, I couldn't get it out, much less load it in a truck. But my advice to you would be to bathe real good in an unscented soap, wash your clothes, and nothing but baking soda. Okay, so one picked it up on that bump right there. He's running backwards with it. Should be fun on this one. I think he got it. Nope. Wash your clothes with just baking soda. I'd put about half a box of baking soda in your clothes, and use a little vanilla extract just on your boots. Don't smoke, don't drink any beer, don't chew any loud smelling chewing gum. You know, a piece of peppermint candy is okay, butterscotch, something like that to keep your mouth from getting dry. And don't let the deer smell you. As far as where to hunt, you'd have to tell me, you know, where you're at, and give me a description of what the terrain looks like. Come on, big guy. I know you want it. Don't get impatient with them, guys. I mean, I've already got enough just for me to eat, and just a few minutes of being here. And I'll pick up another, you know, let's say that you didn't catch but one every 5 minutes. You're there for an hour. That's 12 fish. In most states, you can't keep, and sorry, not most, I should say in some states, you can't keep more than 12 crappie. I think, you know, a lot of states it's 25 or 30 on shellcraker. It's 50 here on this particular body of water. It varies throughout the state on what you can catch. And if you don't want to move it continuously, you don't have to. You can bump it every couple minutes, and I guarantee you one of them's gonna find it. We're gonna get this one back out there. You watch, by the time I turn this camera off to rebait, there'll be something taking that. Look there, guys. He never even saw me. He just went right back up in there. Luckily he's got a mud motor, or he'd have broke his shaft, but he was all decked out for that duck hunting. He had that thing dressed up real nice. And then he'll probably hear me talking on this camera and come out and be fussing, because there didn't used to ever be but maybe a half a dozen duck hunters in 3 counties around here, but it's kind of picked up. The thing is, you don't see too many ducks anymore. They used to be all over the place. Now, one thing I've seen down here that I've never seen before, and that's Canadian geese. We'll let everything settle back down. There's no way in the world that I would have gone up in that slough, not even in an airboat, that fast, and I'll tell you why. Right in the center, on this side of that little tiny island, you can see one tree sticking up. Well, it's like that on both sides, and they're right dead in the center. Even if your motor doesn't catch it, your boat usually squeals on it. He sure went in there fast. I'm glad he got in there safe, though. But he had his boat. He did some work on that boat now. I got to give him credit for that. I wonder if he got JB's permission to go shoot his ducks. Did he get your permission to shoot your ducks? JB said no, he didn't. Well, maybe he's a good guy, and maybe he'll hunt ethically and humanely. That's all I can hope for. There he is, guys. Oh my goodness, he feels like a whale on this rod. It's a nice bass, JB. So this is, oh, my favorite. Your favorite? Well, probably can measure him without putting my glasses on. Let's see here. Now he's got to be 12 inches, JB. I'll put his tail down here on the 12 mark, and let's see where the one begins. Oh, he's going to be more than 12. I think you're if we straighten him all the way out, he's 12 and a half. You want to keep him? You gonna let me throw him back? Keep him. Throw him back. Throw him back. Throw him back. Guys, I'm gonna keep this little bass for him. He'll eat it. Or when he ain't looking, maybe I can, you know, put it back in the water a bit. And if boat traffic will settle down, this current will go back to looping like it was, and we'll get some fish here. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit back down there because you'd get me soaking wet, Mr. Fish. Look at here, guys. He's backing on off with it. Got him. That little bump. You get it near a fish, they can't stand it. Hey, a little bluegill. Ain't too terribly bad. I'm glad to see you, Mr. Bluegill. Put him in there. I tell you guys, I've never seen the boat traffic that I've seen it here this afternoon. That's about where he picked it up, so maybe there's some more bluegill. This one here, I'm just bumping along till I feel a bump, and then I'll stop it and let the something picked it up there. He's pecking at it. That current's been bumping it, so let's get him. Get him, bees. I think he's on there. Oh, no. He was quicker than I was. He hit that one moving on that bump. The current's bumping it for me. That's a nice shellcraker right there, and I got another one on this one over here. That afternoon bite's picking up. Got him. Oh, little rascal. Little one. Hold on, dude. I'm gonna get to you in a minute. You'll be okay. Whoop. I said I will. It's been a while since we've had a boat come through and things have kind of calmed down a bit. Okay, okay, okay. And he swallowed it too. Look at that guy. Absolutely beautiful. I'm telling you guys, that little bump and twitch. I guess you get to keep that hook. I'm sure he's not happy about it, but probably gonna get a wet backside here in a minute. Uh-oh, I'll be darned. Look at there. Look at that. I just had it dangling in the water. So, brother, it's a bass. It's a bass. Look at them eyes. I'll throw him back. Get out of here, little dude. Oh my goodness, now they're gonna come back at us this way, guys. I don't know why it is, but people they will bump up and yeah, I'm putting a whole one on. They would just all clump up in one area. Why do we do that? If it was opening day of fishing season, you wouldn't have no elbow room. I had a guy down at that launch, it's about 1.5 miles back this way, lives pretty close to it, told me, he said, you know, I hunt right up that way. And he does. He owns 6.5 acres back in there. But he goes, nobody ever comes up this way to hunt. I wonder how many people he told about it, because come to think about it, years past, I don't remember seeing maybe 1 or 2 boats and maybe a squirrel hunter or 2, but nothing like what's going on today. But it'll settle back down, guys, because they got 1 more day and it goes out till sometime in December, I believe it is. Y'all have to excuse my mess right there. Bring it into about right there, and just slightly out of that current. I guess I better leave a little bit of line. And that current's going to move that bait around on the bottom and do all that bumping for me right there. What are you pulling? These are some beautiful shellcrackers. That water's getting cold and their coloration's getting lighter. I just put that rascal out there. I'm probably going to stop at about 12, because that's all I feel like cleaning. But we promised the neighbor some, so she's going to have some fine ones, isn't she? I better give it a little bit of slack. If I can get this one rebaited. Uh-oh. Hey, bees, I got hung right here at the bank. That bumping, they can't stand it, guys. I think it's gonna be a nice bluegill. Oh, yeah, it is too. Look at that one. Look at that guy. Look at that. Oh my goodness, I can barely get my hand around him. Get a hold of him here. Just bumping across the bottom, guys. Take a look at that. He is beautiful. Got some purple colors in him. Got 1 nibbling on that one. Don't be afraid to move your bait about, guys. And girls. Girls like to go fishing too. I always get out fish by you, but that's all right. I don't mind cleaning the fish. I'm not gonna stay too much longer, guys, because I know JB's not feeling too good. He's out of his probiotic. He has some stomach issues, and I'm hoping he doesn't have an infection, because we couldn't get a hold of the vet because of the holiday, but we got him on some antibiotics. They were able to call those in. Look at that. That's a good fish, whatever it is. Oh my goodness, it's a bass. He just come out of that deep water, all it was. Oh, well, bless you, you swallowed it. Sure did, all the way to his stomach. Sometimes I can get these hooks out. Yep. And one just hit that one. Get out of here, big guy. Sometimes when that bite really gets going, I just go to 1 pole, guys. You'll catch a lot more fish that way. Got him. Ain't nothing to him though. You're just a minute. You're just a minute. But you gonna make catfish bait. Bluegill make great catfish bait, guys. That's 3 fish on the same worm, and all I'm doing is just tipping the barb on this hook. think that's a train we're hearing, GB. I think that's a train. Alright guys, let's get to the next one. I want y'all to see this duck hunter boat. He's coming out. He went in kind of quick. I don't know if you guys got to look at it or not, but there'd been so many of them gone up that slough. I'm not 100% sure it's the same one, but it sounds like a mud motor. Look at there. Them fellas put some work into that, didn't they? Yep, see, he run over those stumps I was talking about, but looks like he's got the right kind of boat for it. Got him. Oh, he got off. Look at there, JB. Look, look, see him? Look at there. Look at there. I got to watching that mud motor and boat and wasn't watching that one right there, but I think we're gonna get him here in a minute. He just ain't. He might have already swallowed it. I don't know. We're gonna find out here. Like he's having some trouble with that motor. Oh, we got one on this one. That's that quick. Looks like it might be a good one. Of course, this rod's so noodly. I think that is a good one. That is a good one. Look at there, guys. Look at there. Big old hand-sized bluegill. I know, I just put it back in there. I think we're fixing to go to one rod, dude. You're not feeling too good? You want to go home? Your viewers understand. They don't want you out here if you're not feeling good. You want to go to the house? Come on, let me take this off of you. Come up here. Come on. Do not get in that water, okay? Hang on, guys. Let me get this off of him. We're getting this one. Catfish bait size ones now, guys. I mean, they're plenty big enough to eat, but we'll try it for a little bit. See what we do. He found it as soon as it hit the bottom. There he is. That's a good one too. Come here, Mr. Shellcraker. Shellcraker, especially on a river system, fight harder than bluegill. I really do. But that's all you got to do, guys, is bump with it. I thought you were clearing your throat, son. Uh-oh. Guys, JV has thrown up. I apologize, but I'm gonna have to end this one a little bit early. I hope you enjoyed the video, but I got to get him home and get him some stomach medicine, get his antibiotic in him. I mean, we got well over the dozen that we came for, and some of them are really, really, really nice, and probably could catch them right on till black dark. But I don't want to take a chance on stressing his belly any more than what it already is. It's about 110 yards back to the truck, so we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and I promise I'll do some more videos for you, but let me get JB home and make sure he's all right. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.